Viewer discretion is advised. Your fave will be criticized.
That's Chris.
That's Shan.
We are CCTV, the nonstop pop show.
And it's time for another round of Is It Boppin' for the biggest K-pop releases of April 2023.
Looking for an awesome global pop music podcast? Chris and I have the inside scoop with extensive experience performing on stage and working at record labels. We review and deep dive into your favorite artists' songs and careers, and also interview music industry professionals, including artists, producers, choreographers, and everything in between. Join us on Patreon at patreon.com/cctvpops and become a part of our amazing crew, including Lisette, Lily, Emily, Kevin, and Juliet. Subscribe now and let's explore the world of pop music together, because we are finally 1,000 CCT crew members. Let's go.
Yes. So thank you to everyone also who follow us on our socials and in the YouTube community, because you have helped decide which songs we're going to do in this episode. So if you want to join in, make sure you're subscribed and follow us at CCTV Pops on all the socials. So yes, let's get into it. Did we have any bops or flops in April 2023?
Welcome to Is It Boppin'? Here we discuss the songs and discuss the production, lyrics, and videos, and everything in between. So let's find out. Do we have bops or flops? The first song we have is Apink's D&D. It was done by Jang Han-bit, Danka, and Kwon Do-gun, Puff, and Cloved, and Sisa. You know, these names of these producers are always so fancy and hard to say. Oh my goodness. So let's start it off with our oldest girl group. We haven't reviewed a group like this in a minute. Kara was our eldest.
No. Yeah, I don't actually know too much about Apink, to be honest. But, I have been keeping up with the news. And so it was announced that 4 of the 5 members of Apink have left their agency, IST Entertainment, shortly after release of this song. But they did announce that Apink will continue with all 5 members. So we love that. I'm glad that labels are a little more relaxed about this now.
Yeah, for sure. It's more profitable to let them be free.
Totally.
And then think about it. Instead of being you can't go. So
exactly. And it's nice to see an older K-pop group still active, because, a lot of the older K-pop groups, they tend to disband. The 7 years, right, is the
but
time.
For them,
so
I said they still like each other.
Yeah.
All right. But me, I'm not a pink panda. I'm more of a panda, panda.
Yeah.
I'm not completely deep into it, but since 2011, when I was I wasn't even in high school yet when they came out. So when they came out, I was like, oh, they're pretty. They were not what I was used to when I first got into K-pop, for sure. But yeah, I think as they've gotten older, in their 20s or mid-20 to late 20 songs, 20-year-old songs, excuse me, they've been pretty good. They've been these breakup bops that I adore. We had I'm So Sick, Dum Dum, Idol Opso, songs like that, where it was just oh, I'm so over you. Oh, I'm yes, grown woman stuff, but still maintain that prettiness. This song is not that. It's not that quote unquote girl crush, which isn't bad. It's almost going back to what they used to make. Maybe not as bright and cheery and cheesy with the poofy dresses, but it still has a brightness to it. And I think that's what I like about this song. The production is really refreshing. It feels like a pure pop track. Unlike Dilemma, where there was a random trap beat all of a sudden in the middle of the song. I feel like this is a pure pop track, and it really uses the girls' voices really well, because they actually can sing. And I know it sounds so weird, but back in the day, when they were putting groups together, yeah, you can be pretty, but please know how to carry a tune. And if not, you have to be absolutely gorgeous. Thanks. And with Apink, they've always had these really smooth, almost R&B leaning-esque voices. And Eunji is one of their power vocals. She's not busting out a bunch of notes in the chorus like she used to do, but she's good. They're all pretty good, and they sounded really nicely. And they actually use harmonies in a lot of their songs. Not so much in this one, but they do when they perform it live and actually have time to sit down and not dance all these steps, harmonize with each other. With a radio show, or maybe the Killing Voice. Did you see their Killing Voice?
I didn't, but I will.
Yeah, they harmonize. You'd be oh my God. You can see
this is going to be a recurring topic, I think, in today's Boppin, actually. Harmonies.
Honey, honey. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, you're so right. And honestly, with the harmonies thing, God, or just them as a girl group being really cutesy, I like that the verses are lot more subtle than the chorus. It kind of gives you like this breathiness before it explodes into a higher key. And then even at the bridge, it kind of gets a little bit lower. And, you know, the juxtaposition of the lower singing with the, yeah, damn. They're not saying yeah, D&D like that, but it makes the choruses more exciting once they come around. And then the falsetto sound even more angelic as opposed to like, if it were done by like a younger group, no offense at all. It would have been like high, 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 even higher, high, 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 go even higher key change, high, 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 high. Everyone's sitting there breathing with their nose slurring because they have to keep a smile. You know? So, you know that face, the ending fairy, they're like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Well, first off, so I guess, do people say DND? Like, so it stands for do not disturb, right? In this case, is that like a thing people actually say? Because I did not know I didn't know what D&D was supposed to mean. I was like, Dungeons and Dragons? Like,
I knew you were saying something ridiculous.
that's
You
not
know what?
ridiculous.
No, it's
That's
not
like
at all.
what
it's not.
D&D is.
It is. You know, I know about D&D because of a rapper. She's like, I ain't playing with the drama. I'm on D&D. And I was like, yeah. That was like 2 days ago. So I know the rapper. I know the song. I know the song, but I listened to that song recently.
Is that an American song?
Yes, it's called Wifey by Ruby Rose. And a lot of the female rappers say D&D. Like, don't mess with me. I'm on D&D. I'm out with the drama. I'm on D&D. I was like, yeah. So
Got it.
I think this is kind of like that. So continue.
Understood. Okay, so yeah, I think the word for this song is pleasant. I think the whole thing is very pleasant. It's not the most memorable for me, to be very honest, but it's not a bad song. The production is okay. I don't know if it's a mixing choice or a production choice, but there's not much depth to it. Like there aren't many layers to it. And I like tried to like put it on like high fidelity, you know, like I like tried to listen to it at its like highest quality to see if it was just me. But no, like the bass line is very muddled in there. And there's not many highs and lows. There's not much left and right. Like there's just like not much there mixing wise. So I don't love that. Like I wish the bass line was pushed up a bit more. And it could have made it a bit cooler. Everything just kind of feels a little flat in the mixing of it. You mentioned the harmonies and stuff. I think the harmonies and the BG vocals, background vocals in this song are the highlight, really. So that's interesting to know. Like I said, I don't know much about their discography. So if that's actually even more prominent in their other stuff, I should really go back and take a listen. But I do enjoy the chorus melody. Like I said, it's pleasant. And the bridge does stand out to me. It gets a little more ethereal there. You get a little guitar riff there. And I do appreciate the final choruses. You get some oohs and ums and some nice ad-libs in the final choruses. Like ad-libs are not as common in K-pop anymore. It's more these older groups that still kind of do it because a lot of those older groups just have more of that R&B soul kind of influence with that type of thing. So that was nice to hear. And that gave it a nice kind of climax. But yeah, overall, I thought it was just okay, to be fair.
Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately. And shout out to Eunji because she was always going to, nice. You know, I think what's going back to what you're saying about being pleasant, the performances have been that as well.
Yeah.
Charming, even, I will say. Lots of lip syncing, but they give the right kind of facials and expressions. Like they understand what the songs are about and they're not overdoing it. I think because the song is not too cutesy and the lyrics are more about, you know, being more uplifting and like, you know, don't let age take away your dream or your light. They're a little bit more like settled in on the facial expressions. Like as compared with IVE will sit there and give you, you know, the faces left and right. They won't do that. They'll just give you a nice little, I'm breathing because it's not my purse. I'm going to give you a nice little like glance down. I'm not still looking at the camera right now. Like they know they don't have to constantly make contact with the camera. And also they're a decade-long vets. So the way they hit movements, they know how sharp it has to be, but they don't do it in a point where they're like going to like destroy themselves trying to hit every single line. So the choreography does get a little muddled when they do perform live. But you watch like a dance practice or something like that, they still have clean lines. They're no G-friend, but they also have been known for having a lot of armography. Oh my God, they do femology choreography, really make the whole like hands and the body. They do those well. But they never been like a group to little punch, pop, pop. And this dance has a lot of just femme movement. I will say the fashion is interesting because a lot of them are like in their mid to late 20s. The eldest is 31. And it's like they're not dressed too youthfully, but they are dressed in a way where it's like a mix of cute and sexy streetwear that looks good on them. But yeah, I think because the song isn't too hot either, if they do sing live, like on the SBS, like radio performance or like, not radio performance, there's like a band perform called Singles. Have you seen that new show
Yes.
where they have like, yeah, so they sang live-ish there and then killing voice and then like a radio performance. They actually can sing the notes without like killing themselves. So it's nice to kind of have that like, oh, you can hit these notes live, not you ate the CD.
Yeah. What'd you think of the music video?
So this video, I enjoy because it's not like a wow, like a moment of like iconic, symbols or whatnot, but it's interesting because it's not just like, oh, we have humdrum lives with morning jobs, like, Busoksun did and like Triple S, like everyone's have like this mundane life. Like this is a whole, like existential renaissance that's happening in K-pop with the visuals and the lyrics. It's very interesting to me. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
But this kind of goes the extra mile where it's like, instead of just like, oh, as you age, your light starts to dim and your dreams start to fade away. It kind of nods to the ageism in K-pop as well. Like Chorong is sitting in a dress, looking the most idol-like while everyone's in this museum taking pictures of the new shiny thing, right? And the people in the gallery maybe kind of looked at her, but they don't look at her anymore. And they're looking at these little candles. And then even in the music video, the girls are sitting at the table and the candle is melting. And the candle is supposed to represent, I guess, their careers or maybe even their dreams or their age. And when she takes off the dress and she's walking in like regular, quote unquote, street clothes, pedestrian clothes, she's smiling at the camera very confidently, even though no one's looking at her. And I love that. I'm like, they understand that they're not like a New Jeans or an IVE and they're okay with that. They're not an ITZY group. They're never going to be like, yeah, we're trying to get international. Like, they're not trying to do that. They know their Pink Pandas love them. The song is for the Pink Pandas. This video is to like let them know that we're still here. We're still together. As long as you're with us, we'll be with you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
They're good at what they do, and that's what this video shows. It's like simple, clear, done.
Yeah, they have nothing to prove anymore, right? Like that's kind of the line of what you've been saying this whole time. Like they're very comfortable on camera. They're very comfortable on stage. They don't need to try that hard. The chemistry is very natural. So I appreciate that. And it's nice to see, I mean, we've been talking about all these very young K-pop groups, over the past few years. So it's kind of refreshing to see an older, active K-pop group that are reflecting a more adult work and more adult problems, I guess. That's just nice. And yeah, I think the video is simple, but does a good job of just matching the sentiment of the song. And all the scenes feel well thought out and well designed. There's a nice balance of color there. Choreography wise, I don't love it. You mentioned the armography and it's a little flaily at times, like especially the second half of the chorus. It's just like, it's like a lot. and their hands that are choreographed, K-pop loves the hand choreography now too. So you add arm choreography and hand choreography, and it's just a lot happening arms wise. So it's not the smoothest choreo. It's very like, okay, your arm's here and then your hand's here and then it's like
it is not their old stuff. It's not.
So it's not very smooth. But the fact that they're comfortable performing, I think balances it a bit more. I think if you gave this choreo to a newer group, either they'd go way harder and it would just be super, super sharp. Or it could look even more flaily if they don't have the control for it, right? So I think the level of energy they put into it is good because they're not, like I said, they're not trying too hard. So it could be even more flaily looking. I will give this one a 7, just kind of average. How about you?
Yeah, I think in line with everything that they've done, I'll give it a 7 too as well.
Next up, we have IVE with I Am. And this one was done by Kep1er, Ryan June, Auden Agnar, Aline Noelia, and Kristen Marie.
Yes. Haha. Yes. I was just singing this song. It's my life.
It's high.
Yes, freaking. See, I'm not very good at keys, but I know that key is in the key of stratosphere. But I think this song, it's already been noted now. It's been a month now that it sounds like an Ava Max track. And it totally did. Because I was like, why do I like this? Because I like Ava Max's song, even though they're kind of just like generic pop. But I like it. The songwriter that worked on the song actually mentioned that too, that it just didn't end up with Ava. So which is kind of cool because it makes you understand that music, when it comes to like shopping songs out and such, whoever wants it, whoever pays for it, whoever cuts the song, that's who's getting it. It's not just like, oh, but there's a demo. Okay. Whoever cut it and, got the masters, that's who's got the song. I like that the song is about being confident and self-sufficient as you make your way. Like almost like fake it till you make it, but not as like I don't fake it till you make it. This one is just more like, I'm a writer and the genre is fantasy. My fantasy is being as amazing as I can be, being someone's dream come true or a deja vu of a beautiful day. And I was like, oh, I love that. But it's not romantic. It's more about just going and finding your own way. Again, the existential renaissance of K-pop. Like that's an essay video all on its own, Chris. But yeah, I think production-wise, I really do like it. It sounds cool still. It still fits within their realm of being those cool girls at school. Like they are the very posh girls, and then like this song maintains the image for them. In my mind, Le Sserafim is editorial fashion, and these girls are like high fashion. One sells a story, and the other one's selling you a lifestyle. And this song is selling you that lifestyle. They keep going. Even with the pre-release kitsch, it was very much like, we are those girls, we're the cool girls, and blah, 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 and blah, 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 be you. Don't worry about what anyone has to say. But like, be you, but like, don't try to be us. Like, be like us, but like, not us, but like, be you. Like, that's what it's giving. And this song is the same thing. It's kind of just like, we're very cool. And they're singing lowly. And then as the pre-chorus comes, I'm on my way, it gets higher and higher. And it kind of swells up in this crazy way. And they have Yoonji, Wonyoung, and everybody else except Liz sing this chorus, which blows my mind because the girl can hit the notes, give her lines. But it's okay, I guess, because she can hit the pre-chorus note is kind of high too. But yeah, I think it's pretty. They sound very flitty at certain points, and I think it's meant to be very airy. But yeah, no, I like the way the song winds up, winds out. I liked it when I first heard it. Honestly, I wasn't like, oh my god, I love it, but I thought, this is a good direction for you girls to go into, like this 2010s-esque pop sound. If they did want to kind of explore that, they could, I think.
So yeah, I got to hear a rough version of this song a month or so prior to the release. And I was underwhelmed at first because I think the way the song is structured, the pre-chorus, or I guess the first half of the chorus sounds like it's a pre-chorus. So then when it kicks in and the melody of the chorus is the same, like that it's the same. So that disappointed me because I don't actually love that melody, I think. But it's grown on me a lot since then. And the production hits a lot harder in the final version now. Because the demo, it was like, I mean, yeah, they hadn't mixed it yet. So it was clearly just a little muddled and it kind of, there's just no energy behind it. So yeah, there was improvement there. I do not think this song is as good as the previous IVE singles, but I still enjoy it. And like you said, it still sonically fits and it does expand on their discography as well. It's nice to have something a little more empowering from them. The album is interesting. I don't know if you've listened to the album yet.
I have,
It's a lot brighter than I thought it would be from them, to be honest. So yeah, I thought that was an interesting choice. And when I first heard the demo or the rough version, I heard the whole album and they didn't say which one the title track was. So I did not pick this one as the title track, which is interesting. So yeah, interesting choice there.
They have other songs.
But I prefer other songs on the album. But I do like production on this. There's a really nice bass synth here. The build is really, really cool. The way it pulls back and comes back in. It makes the chorus feel super big. Especially that last chorus as well. You get that 1, 2, 3 repeat, and then you get that big rocky final chorus. It's very, very satisfying the way they built the whole thing. Vocally, there is so much processing here. The song is so high. But you can't even feel the effort because they just put so much on it that it just sounds like a robot the whole time. So I don't love that. There are some great harmonies as well, but of course they don't sing any of them live. But imagine like if they did the pre-chorus like with that harmony, it's so beautiful. Like even the big notes, there's harmonies behind those notes. So anyway, so I watched the live band version, which the guitar sounded good, but like they might as well have been lip syncing. Like it was such a processed vocal there. But anyway, the video. So when I listen to the song, I think I've said before that like I think of Mean Girls when I see them.
Yeah, totally.
And I think this song still, like, they're definitely keeping with that brand. I think, like, this video is giving rich, entitled, mean girls. And I don't mean that in necessarily a bad way. I know that some of those words are maybe have a negative connotation, but it's their brand and they're good at it.
Socialite,
Like,
the socialite
they
kind
totally
of look,
embody it well.
Yeah.
But it is kind of like, it's like, oh, right, we're in this privileged life, so like obviously we can pursue like what we want because like we already have everything. So you know what I mean? It's just a little pretentious, but that's kind of their thing. So it's fine, I guess. And I enjoy it, and they look really good. I love the styling in it. I have to say, Won Young is such a star. Like, she's the Hyuna of this group. Like, she stands out so much. Even when she's in the back of the formation, like she really stands out. And then some of them are not as good performers at all. So it's just kind of like, it's not very balanced in their performance ability, but they're still very new. So that's okay. Yeah. But before we move on to the performances, what did you think of the video?
Oh no, you're right. Oh no. I mean, Yoonji, Yujin, I keep saying Yuji though. So Yujin, she holds her own because I think because they both did the IVE, not the IVE, the IVE's one pipeline, right? So they had time to prepare. Those other girls are like 14, 15, baby. Liz is not a baby, but Liz ain't got no lines, you know? Yeah, and Ray wasn't there either. I was like, dang it, that stinks. But she was not feeling her best apparently either.
Right.
But yeah, nah, you're right about that. Dang, it sucks. But like I said, you know, they're giving you high fashion. It's just, can you afford this? Oh, I mean, you could if you just worked really hard. You know, nepo babies. But yeah, the video is so funny. It reminds me of like the scene of Elite that we were watching in the 3rd or 4th season where they were like standing at the door with the paparazzi just posing. And we're like, this is what took up about 5 minutes of the scene. Y'all out of your mind. And that's what the video was doing. It was just like them literally in like a Louis Vuitton almost like showroom. So they're trying on. That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's their house.
Yeah, you know, like, come into my walk-in closet, like, you know, come inside. Like, that's what it was giving. But yeah, they looked good, but they sell it with the whole like look at the cameras, like, ooh, you wish you had this designer bag, you know? And there's a lot of people who do want that. But what I don't care for is that the girls are wearing black and white the whole time. The whole time. They're on the plane, black. They're inside the car.
I kind of liked that though. It felt very powerful.
Black and white. No, it totally does. But at the same time, like there's other ways to dress black and white than just in a suit. You know, like black and white suit, black and white suit, black and white suit. Oh, leather on the plane. I will say that this video is so funny because Won Young hopping out of that plane.
Yes, I started laughing.
You know, I didn't laugh. I was just like, okay, let's freak. I'm a cold person. I was like, okay, what the hell is she doing? But then I see them. But then someone on Twitter or somebody created a video with Won Young. It's like, it's life, da 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 da. And smack. You see one like a CG version of Won Young hit the wing of the plane. I was like, yeah. So now I look at it and I start laughing. But yeah, I think it's interesting having them on the wing of the plane dancing. Like, it doesn't get any more like private jet.
Yeah, like look at our first class private airplane.
Yeah, right. Our Air Force One platinum plane. I will say that when the last chorus comes around after that bridge with Yoonjin, Jesus Christmas, Yoonjin singing. Oh man, like you said, it adds to that like that energy, and then the lights are going. I think they use the same runway that they use in Afterlike, but yeah, the lights are flashing. The CG plane is going by, and then they're using the runway, the airplane runway, as their runway. I'm like, it doesn't get better than this. So again, this video is not my favorite video by them, but in terms of like, this is the concept that we have, and we're sticking to it. And you're gonna love it, and if you don't, we're still gonna do it. I think this song does that. The video does that as well.
Totally.
And Won Young has been getting a lot of hate. We all know that she gets a lot of hate. But this is why I think it's why I like her. People are like, you're being too cute. Continues to be cute. Does it even cuter. Same thing with this group. The whole group embodies the whole, oh, what is this whole like posh thing? They're going to lean into it, keep leaning into it. Because the more you try to shy away from it and mix, instead of figuring out how to make it better.
Yeah.
No offense to the MX. The girls are great. It's the production team. Instead of like shying away from like the whole we're the mean girls of K-pop, they lean into it and then they sell it to you. And you're still like, oh, the song's decent enough, or the song's good enough. Dang it. God, you know?
Yeah. I think people just give Won Young hate because they're jealous.
Yeah, no,
It's like
she's
Hyuna.
so cute.
Hyuna, I know I keep making that comparison, but she also got a lot of hate, right? Back
Yeah,
then.
no, she got all the hate. Ooh,
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah, so as performers, I mentioned earlier, I think obviously some of them are a lot stronger than the others.
Yeah.
But choreography-wise, it's good. It's relatively simple, actually, so they can actually sing live and sing live stably, which is amazing. It's very refreshing. Yeah, I would say, is the point choreo like the two hands coming in and out and then them going like in the circle? Oh, it's the hand coming
I think.
out. Oh,
I
interesting.
I like the genre thing too. That's cute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like this. I like the hand going in a circle thing too.
Oh,
Um,
you know what? That's a good question. This is one of those dances where I wasn't just like, oh, because with
there wasn't a
90s
very clear point dance. No.
which is fine. I think it's okay not to have that. It's one of those like just learn the whole thing.
Yeah. But we mentioned with the Apink song, like, because, you know, they were a lot of armography. And with IVE, they do a lot of handography. Like, it's always really delicate hands and, you know, changing positions and stuff, which is so hard. It's really hard to be clean and precise with that. And they always do a really good job of that. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. I still prefer the other choreo for the other songs, maybe because I also just like the other songs more. That's possible. But yeah, I thought I enjoy watching them perform it. So.
Yeah, yes. Not their strongest, but it's not their weakest track either. So they have, but other songs on that album, which is a good album, I will give them that. It's actually a pretty good album for it to be like, what, 13 songs, 12 songs? So kudos to them. I wish they did more singles, but this is not the West. Yeah. Have to wait until the next album cycle, I guess. But yeah, so for this one, I think I'm going to give it a big fat 8.
Yes, I will also stick with an 8.
Up next, we have Kep1er with Giddy, which is done by Stain Boys, Hwan Yubin, Alina Smith, and Ellie Moore of Liar, Farago, Jay Hype, Anna Timgren, Charlotte Wilson, Jejin, and Isa Guerra. Okay, so we got some familiar names as well. We have Alina Smith and Ellie Moore of Liar. They did Sweet Juice, Mafia in the Morning, a lot of other songs too, but the ones that we've talked about on the show are like include Sweet Juice. Charlotte Wilson, the In Mix, you know, change up rap parts. I mean, she can sing well, but I think the rap parts come from her for sure. Everyone else, no offense, I don't know. Anna Timgren, she's been in the game for so long. Oh my gosh, she's good. I'm gonna talk about a good girl group songwriter. She's great. Yeah, this one's interesting because here's the thing. It's not like I don't like the song. I won't go so far like, oh my God, the song is not good. Like, I like the song. It's disco pop. It has like a little bit of a girl crush fusion at the end of the first chorus. Like, it doesn't do it too much. It's like, but here's the thing. Why is Kep1er singing it? Apparently it was meant for another group, according to Alina.
Do we know who?
No, she didn't divulge that information, unfortunately. But Alina, if you want to come on our show and tell us, please tell us. But yeah, no, it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, I get it. They weren't supposed to get it. Because I heard kitty kitty. I was like, this song must have been nasty when they first wrote it.
I thought so too.
But aside from that, what is Kep1er's concept? And that's my thing, right? So it's beyond just like, oh, the song's not good. It's just, what is their concept? Because before y'all were Kep1er aliens. I hate the outer space thing. It was getting a little annoying. The whole cosmic universe thing. It was getting annoying. But again, it goes back to what I was saying. Just because everyone's tired of it doesn't mean you can't lean into it. Lean into it. But yeah, I mean, okay, the song is not bad. The song is not bad. It's actually a little bit better than their last single, which I can't really remember that much. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That's you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I mean, it's nice. I like the group doo-doo-doos and the pre-hook. I love that bridge section. Like, it has so many sweet, awesome moments. But oh God, it gets on my nerve because I'm like, what is your concept? What is it? And there's nothing wrong with switching up a concept each time you come back. But with Eyes One, I knew I was going to get this huge posh kind of sound. With BLACKPINK, I know I'm going to get a freaking drop and EDM and like very minimal. I know I'm going to get from them. You know, with them, it's just you just wait and you listen and you hope it's good. And it's like, dang, it sucks for them because it's like, what is their sound? I mean, they don't need to have a sound because they're an experimental group like put together by. But I digress. Giddy is a fun word to use, I want to say, in a K-pop track. So it's just it's like no one really has a song that's called Giddy. It's almost like with Beyonce with Cozy. No one was using Cozy that much. Now it's like Cozy.
A thing.
Ooh, yeah. You know, I think it stands out as a title. In the chorus, it's simple. And melodically, it switches up in between the giddy, giddy, giddies. So it's not so mind-numbing, which is nice. Their songs are getting better, though. I will say that. I just don't know what their sound is. Or if they have one, okay. I guess they don't have one, I suppose. I don't know. But like I said, the song is better than their last single. I will say that.
I have not been impressed with Kep1er's output so far. Like, I think it is just a tad it's not really faceless, but it's just kind of like, I think we've talked about how saturated the girl group market is.
Yeah.
And like these songs just are not as good as all these other ones, you know, that have been coming out. So
You want to get us drag on the Kep1ers?
to be fair though,
Mhm.
I think they're going the right direction. I think the song
Yes.
is way better than Wa Da Da and whatever the other one was. This one, it's cool. I think the production is cool. It's funky. I
Mhm.
like the prominent bass line. It's very, very fun. I
Mhm.
like I like the ways the structure kind of takes you. It kind of keeps you interested the whole
Yeah.
time because every part of the song sounds so completely different, but still sounds
Mhm.
cohesive. This is not a crazy change up situation. Like it's just a well put together song. The chorus is very, very catchy. And I'm sure it'll be fun at shows because it's kind of made for fan chants and stuff, like with the actual chanting
Oh,
that happens
yeah.
in it. So good, you know, like
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like that'll be fun
Yeah.
live for sure. So yeah, overall, I think it's way better than the other stuff I've heard. So
Same.
I appreciate that. So I think it's a
Mhm.
step in the right direction for sure. Yeah.
Like I said, with the word giddy, because of the cute sound, the K, cute,
Totally.
you know, it kind of has a kitty, 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 kitty. I was like, same thing with D&D though. D&D, they kept saying TNT. And I was like, are you trying to say TNT or
Yeah,
D&D?
yeah, yeah.
With this one, it's actually okay to kind of make that little kitty, kitty, because it sounds like if I was a choreographer and I got this track, I'd be like, are they saying kitty? They saying kitty now. You know, like, and that's what the choreographers did. I think it was La Chica who did this and some other choreographers, like with IVE song, I Am. La Chica did it. Some other girl, other team did it. And then I think Free Mind. So some of the parts that you liked the most was like La Chica. And La Chica did this one too as well, I think, with the kitty, 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 kitty.
Mhm.
And it's cute. I mean, it works. The choreography, some of it was like a little like, okay. But you know, you have your moments with what's her name? Taeyang? I think it's Taeyang, the rapper, and Hikaru. They feel like we say it every single time we talk about these girls. Those two, I'm not gonna lie to you. My friend posted Hikaru in a story and talk about how she killed this choreography. And I'm like, yes, when is Kep1er disbanding so she can be put in a group? Because she's so
amazing.
good. Like,
Yeah, she stands out.
she needs, no offense to Kep1er at all, but I feel like each of these girls need to kind of like go off and do their own thing so they can actually like reach the stardom that they deserve,
Mhm.
because Kep1er is not going to do that for them. I mean, it's good.
Are
to
they
kinda
a temporary group? No, right? They're like a real
They
group.
are.
Oh, they
They
are
are
a temporary group. Okay.
Thank God. I hope. Yeah.
Oh, so that's why they don't even need a sound then.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was
Okay,
saying.
so yeah.
But even still, X1 had a sound. 101 had a sound. This is just giving. We don't care that, or we couldn't control the vote, so we didn't know who was going to be in the group to construct the proper
I
song.
still think the balance of cute and cool is like a thing because that's kind of in this song as well. Because, you know,
Yeah,
the
totally.
chorus is kind of cool, but then you do have those like girly cute chants with it too. So I don't know. I think that's kind of a sound.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I'll take it. I was trying to, sorry, in my brain, I was trying to connect dots.
The silence. Tumbleweed.
Totally. I was just trying to connect dots. You're not wrong. I was just like, that last song was kind of cute. It was like that. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But it had like a cool didn't it have like a moment where it turned into like
I'm trying to throw you a bone here. I was like, waiting for the buffer. But yes, going back to what you were saying about like mixing the cute and the cool. You're right, because the hip hop that's there, that's present, and then the kitty, that's cute, right? So
yeah.
I appreciate that. And also the video kind of leans itself to that too. Just hopping right into it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, when you don't have a concept, it shows. These girls are just dressed really stylishly and they look really pretty, but like it's not really cohesive to me in the sense of like what they're wearing. I'm not saying groups have to match, but there's nothing that really ties them together except like in the like certain disco fashions, like the little sparkly dresses and whatnot. I do enjoy like the live performances that they've been doing with the little kitty braids, because some of them do have kitty cat braid here in the music video. The video is really simple. It's like there's imagery for mazes and puzzles and other games that represent with love, like being a metaphor for love. So I appreciate that. Like there's not much of an alien concept that's being brought to your face, except maybe at the end where one of the girls eats another. Like I was just like, so now your aliens come to destroy the planet. Got it. You know, it's giving.
I was expecting that heart to turn into like a spaceship or something, but it didn't happen.
That'd be cute.
Yeah. This video's fine. I would say they do look really good, but there's just so many sets. Like there's so many dance scenes and stuff. It's so unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's just a lot for no reason. And of course you have so many members, so then you have like random solo moments too. I don't know. It's just a lot.
Yes, like
Uh,
Bahi. I'm so sorry for pronouncing the young lady's name wrong. Please don't come for me. It's not that deep. But you know, Huiling, she
Mhm.
in the middle of the alley. I'm like,
Yeah.
why are you there?
Like she
It was
didn't
weird.
get her own set.
Oh my god, wait, in the middle of the alley, they're alley cats. It just popped in my head just now.
Oh, cute.
I didn't think about, well, see, tin hats working.
Okay, but the rest of the scenes have nothing to do with cats.
I'm muting myself because you're right.
So that may be a stretch a little bit, but it works. So yeah. Choreography wise, I would say that my favorite part where I was like, ooh, that looks cool, was when they do the leveled V in that first pre-chorus.
Yes.
I thought that looked
Yes.
really, really cool. And I was like, ooh, that's cool. That was the only moment that I had here. But in general, because there are 9 of them, right? They can do a lot with levels. There's some cool mirroring going on, some cool formation. I do think the point dance is cute, like with the cat claws and paws and all that. So I think it's effective. It matches the song.
Right.
Some of them are great performers, especially the rappers. The rappers kill it, man.
Yeah.
So yeah. So how long are they supposed to be active for? Like a year and a half or 2 years, something like that, right?
I think around that time, yeah.
Yeah, so,
We're coming
okay,
up on a year now,
That's
right?
interesting. I'm curious. I mean, they've only had a couple singles, so I'm curious how many more we're gonna get from them. But you know, this song got quite a few votes from our crew members. So there's
Yeah.
clearly people who are fans of them. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see just kind of like how they hold up. And yeah, I will look forward to see what they all do afterwards as well. Because yeah, some of them have a lot of potential. So
Totally.
yeah. I think, like I said, I do like this more than Wadada, and I don't even remember the song after that. Has there been more than 2 singles? You know, I don't even know. So in general, though, like I said, I think they're headed in the right direction. I do like the song overall, so I'll give it an 8. How about you?
Yeah, contrary to how he may sound, I actually like the song too. I'm gonna give it an 8. Hopefully they stick with this kind of concept and keep this sound-ish kind of going on. We'll see what happens. They're like another Wiki Mickey. They get thrown at different concepts thrown at them and hope it sticks. Like
Right, but if it's a
that.
temporary group, it's giving them all experience with different things. So I don't actually hate
Look
that.
at us. See, we're trying to be positive. So don't come for us, Kep1ers, or do. Please engage us. We love
We
those
like
comments.
real opinions here on CCTV.
Yeah, that's all you're gonna get here.
All right, so moving on to NCT DOJAEJUNG with Perfume. So this is an NCT subunit featuring Do-young, Jaehyun, and Jungwoo. And this one was done by Kim Soo-min, Brandon Arriaga, Colin Maggs, Landon Sears, and Styles Fuego, and MZMC.
And MZMC, if y'all don't know, is a SMOG. He did Don't Mess Up My Tempo. He did Thirsty by Taeyang. He's done a lot of other songs. But
And Brandon is from
Yes.
Pretty Much. Yeah,
Yes,
who
I wonder if
we
he-
are big fans of. Yeah.
we haven't done a one-on-one on them, but you know what gets me? I wonder if he worked on the song and was like, damn, I need to show the boys this. This is fire. Like, because they used to be so R&B driven and not hip hop focused with the harmonies and stuff like that. And I wish like this song would be so hot on them. Oh my God. But I digress. No, DOJAEJUNG. I got my main piece, my side piece, and then I thought it was gonna be Taeyang, but I mean, no offense to Jung at all. I just thought it would be Taeyang because Taeyang's been like, he's another vocalist, has kind of get shafted.
But this, they're kind of, okay, so I believe this subunit, they're supposed to be like the R&B, like sexy
Yes.
group, right? So Taeyang doesn't really fit that.
Listen, I understand. I looked at it and I was like, oh, that silhouette makes sense. Like I looked at it and I was like, okay, okay, the silhouette makes sense, right? And I can respect that. Like even with the branding, like the DJJ looks cute. I mean, it could have been a TJ or D, whatever. Either way, Taylor can sing too. Dang it, give him love, y'all. Stop swimming in that dungeon. But no, I mean, I'm so happy to finally have like a vocal focused track from NCT. I mean, even if it's in the form of a subunit, I'll take it. The song
Totally.
has great grooves, man, and the bass line makes it so cool. If you listen to like the It's Live or It's Live, kind of, sort of, version of it, you can hear that bass line. Without that bass line, the song would just be like, okay. But the bass line definitely helps. The song also showcases the members' voices really well. Like I was getting the nodes of Perfume. You have the top with the head notes and the middle heart notes, and then you have bass notes, right? You have the 3 notes of a Perfume and these 3 men. You can hear it. So of course, Jaehyun is a more like obvious set because everyone knows him. I was like, oh man, But then you have the heart, the middle nodes. That's Young, obviously. And you have bass notes. That's the one that kind of comes at the end. You can still smell it. It lingers a little bit. That's Jung. You know what I'm saying? So it fits. It fits really nicely. Everyone kind of has their role that they play. And even when they sing, they all take different parts of their voices, the falsettos. And I think Jaehyun actually hits a very low bass note for one of the harmonies, which I appreciate because all that rapping he does, he might as well use his voice for actually singing down there as well. Young sounds like a damn angel on this, which is so nice to hear him between the two of those guys. No offense to them, but his voice is he's a good tenor. That's all I'll say. He's a very good tenor. He has a very pure kind of falsetto where, like, even if it does get auto-tune or melodyne, it doesn't sound like you need to alter too much and make it sound like he's singing in a freaking aluminum cup or something, because he can actually hit these notes, so I appreciate it. And production-wise, just going back to what I was saying, I love how this kind of sounds like something that Teddy Riley would have produced. And it's not in the obvious, like, New Jack Swing where it's like these drums are smacking you in your face. It's not obvious like that. It's more like songs like I Like by Guy or even Kissing Game. It's been modernized in this really nice way. And the song is, you know, fairly mellow, which is why I love the ending that has like these additional violin strings at the orchestral hits at the end, because that's something that Teddy would have done. It's just, it adds a little bit more flair to a very low-key song without being like a random instrumentation that's introduced. This song also reminds me of like a romantic Don't Mess Up My Tempo, because of like the harmonies and such and whatnot, which I enjoy. So yeah, this is definitely SM style. So if you do like, oh, EXO could have sang it, or like Shiny could have sang, yeah, that's the whole point. Those R&B focused groups sound all the same, which is completely fine. It's just different faces. Yeah. So yeah, I like this. I like this one.
Totally. Yeah, the first time I heard it, I thought EXO, actually. I was like, oh, EXO would kill this. Yeah. And again, yeah, like you said, not a bad thing at all. Because I was very excited when this subunit was announced. I will always advocate for more opportunities for Young to shine, because I love his voice so much. And when I saw them live, he didn't really get to do what he can do, you know? So yeah, I think this whole concept also is very much what I love as well. So I will say also the rest of the project is great. I would say I don't think this is the best song on that project either. So yeah, as a project, one of my favorite releases actually so far this year, I think K-pop wise. Have to shout out the acapella harmony start, very pretty much also.
Yes.
But unfortunately, they never sing that part live. Like even in the It's Live, they just let it play in the back. I was like, come on. Anyway, before we get to the performance though, production wise, yeah, very full, has a very nice groove to it. But yeah, I'm going to be honest, I don't really listen to the production that much on this because it's clearly about the vocals. Like all three sound so good. They all have different tones, but they blend really, really well together. And they all emote very well. So it kind of fits this kind of more kind of R&B kind of thing that they're going for. And all their head voices are also really, really strong. And this song showcases that very, very well. I will say the song is quite short. And the way it's structured, the bridge is very long. I don't know if you noticed that. Like the bridge had like 3 or 4 different parts to it. So like the time between the second verse and its chorus to that final chorus is like quite long. So yeah, structurally just really interesting, because it's kind of like they had all these songwriters write their own bridges and they liked them all. So they just put them all in. That's kind of what it felt like. Not a bad thing, just it's something I noticed.
No, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Video wise, I like the idea of them like owning a flower / perfume shop and then delivering, I guess, their own special blends or whatever. I think that that's cute.
Not a special blend.
But again, it's just, there's just a lot going on. Like, especially once the second half comes in, there's just so many shots. And so many shots that you sometimes only see for like less than a second. You never see it again. So clearly they filmed this video over like a couple days, you know, like it's just like a lot. It was just a lot, but they look really good. The styling is really cool. And, you know, SM loves its random white girls in videos. And so they are continuing that trend.
That was my note. Dang it. I said the same thing.
Gotta keep that going.
Random ass white girl. Random ass. There's a song by this Japanese rapper and it's called Random Ass White. No, this is not us being like prejudiced or anything like that. You know, none of that. It's just so funny because it's true.
No,
SM loves, even in Candy back in the even in Candy back in the 90s at Candy, there was some random white girl. I thought they were old, and we're like, Pourquoi? ¿Por qué? Like, why is she there?
But like some of the scenes, like why are they like randomly doing those jail shots? Like I don't know. Like it was just like a lot.
The voyeuristic nature of the video was so funny to me because you have like Taeyang in the tub taking a bath with his clothes on, and I'm like, come on now, come on, take something off, shoot that, or just don't be in the tub. Like it just, I don't care for that. And then Doyoung is in the bed, like laying there, like, oh, girl, stop filming me. Like I was like, what's going on? It's just, it was a lot going on. And then Jung was the one, hey kid, go put up some flyers. What were the other two doing? You know what I'm saying? Like it was just so random because he's like, I'm gonna put this very obvious sign on the storefront. You're not supposed to do that, first of all. You're not supposed to sit there and put your sign on the ops storefront. He legit was like, oh, storefront with the door? Blasted it. But yeah, things like that. And then, yeah, the jail scene was kind of interesting. I'm like, is this like their bad boy scene?
I think it's supposed to be a bad boy thing.
Yeah, it definitely was. Because I was like, what's going on? Because you have the flower getting destroyed by Jaehyun because he's smacking the flower. So I guess that they destroyed their shop. I don't know. But I do love in the police lineup, you can see what scent they represent. And Jaehyun, my main piece, has bergamot. You know what Chantel loves? Bergamot. My perfume I'm wearing, no, bergamot. And with some other stuff too, obviously, but bergamot is my scent. And then, of course, you have my side piece doing with white cotton. We love a little bit of white cotton too. And then, I don't know what Jungwoo's scent was. I'm not familiar. Citron? I think it was citron. But yeah, I paid attention to those little things. Again, it was really weird, but I guess those scents together kind of create what the DOJAEJUNG scent profile. But yeah, that's about it. I do like the dance scenes, so I'll give it that. It's nice to kind of watch the performances though. Like when you're not just watching them dancing, you have the whole team of dancers as well. It looks really nice. I will say that. So
yeah, I would say the choreo is very good. The chorus is quick, but it's choreographed really well. I love all the perfume, the wrist movements and all that. It's very well done. There's a really good groove to it. It's very smooth. But I will say they're vocalists, so I wish they sang live. Like I wish they gave them choreo where they could sing live. Yeah, so I mean, to be fair, the live band version, their arrangement was not good. So maybe, I don't know. But if they aren't going to do the harmonies and stuff anyway, I guess they don't really need to sing live.
They did some of them. They're just tuned.
Very little. It was like in the bridge, they had those like couple moments, that's it. But yeah, it's just the choreo is good, but it's just so hard hitting. And like this song is smoother. So I actually thought like the smoother moments where they're just doing like body rolls and stuff, like that was very effective. Some of the more hard hitting moments, they obviously do them very well. They execute it very, very well. I just don't think it needed to be that hard hitting, but it's NCT. That's what they do.
I'm crying.
It's fine.
That's interesting. I actually have it downloaded. I was like, oh yeah, I like the sharp movements and the grooves, like an interesting dynamic that does not make me feel like they're doing too much. But I feel like it was pretty like even in a sense, because I think when you have those background dancers and they're dancing in between the background dancers, some of them can leave while they're dancing with the group of men. Some of them come back, like especially in the beginning. The beginning is meant to be like dong 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 dong. It's meant to be funky, so they have like the little sharp movements, the little head thingy, the cute little smooth criminal moments, some little motions coming through, so that when Doyoung comes in, he's like this, he's singing and being his soft self. I feel like that it had a moment. They had moments. I liked some of the shapes and whatnot in it. And like you said, the wrist taps and the ear tap. I think that was great. I mean, it doesn't get easier than just do what you have to do. And the perfume bottle.
Yeah.
Reminded me of like Modern Family, where one of the dads, I think he worked at a mall, and he's like, "We'd like to try some perfume," and he sprays the person in their face before they even finish the sentence. That's what it reminds me of. I'm like, I don't care for the obvious perfume bottle, but it is what it is. It's not a huge deal. It's not going to make me hate the song. But yeah, no, I like watching them dance. That bridge section cracks me up because you're right, it is quite long, and it just kept going.
Yeah,
it was just like section by section.
Yeah,
it was section by section for each vocalist. Like literally, like this is what Jaehyun is really good at. Here's what Doyoung's really good at. Oh, Jungwoo can rap. Let's throw that in there too. Like that's what it was giving. And but I think it's fun. I don't want to learn this one. I don't want to learn it, but I like watching these cute men with their boyfriend concept. Very CBX of them do this. So I enjoy it. I mean, I enjoyed it. Not like wow, but like I enjoyed it.
So would you rate it?
I'll give it a 9 because I liked it when I first heard it. I was like, I like it. Yeah, I'll give it a 9.
Same. I'll give it a 9. Well, look at us like being on the same page so far. Let's see if that continues.
This next is going to be interesting. It is our boys Tempest with Dangerous. And this song was done by 72. David Anthony, Square, Tasotchi, which is 5 o'clock from MUMW, David Simon, Sean Alexander, Young, Liu of Tempest, and Hwarang of Tempest as well. So you got the rappers writing their raps. Look at that.
Yeah, there's something about the song that reminds me of second gen stuff. I think because it's so bright, but then they're like, I'm dangerous, I'm a villain. And it's like, it's so cheesy, but enjoyable. It's just very cheesy. And it feels very young. You know, I feel like this, so far in this episode, we've had like slightly older, you know, or just slightly more mature sounding stuff. Even Kep1er's song was a little more mature, right, than the other stuff they've done. So this is just so young and juvenile. So that just kind of, I had to kind of just readjust my mind when I was going through this episode or preparing for this episode. But yeah, it's hard to take these lyrics seriously because it's just like, I'm dangerous. Like, it's just like, okay, you're not dangerous. But the production is cool. I like again, you get a really strong bass line. There's some video game like blips and bloops kind of throughout it. Again, there's just something very nostalgic, I think, about the whole thing. I really like the melody of the chorus. It's super catchy. It's really, really, it's a fun melody to sing along to. And again, like the Kep1er one, there are elements in it that are kind of made for fan chants as well. So it's very interesting that like that's part of K-pop songwriting now. You have to think about that interaction with the crowd, which is cool. Yeah. I do wish there were some ad-libs or something just in that final chorus, just to give it that final kind of climactic moment. But otherwise, for a young boy group, it's a solid song. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely the sequel to Bad News I've been waiting for, because boy, that dragon song they try to do, I'm like, they And then after that, the songs that the song after Tempest, Bad News is actually kind of like second gen, you know, cutesy boy, flower boy thing. Which is fine, but they're not flower boys. I won't go so far as the other flower boy group. They're not. And then Dragon was way too intense. And I was like, this is not y'all. Please. Because my thing is like, I like the bright approach that they take to the hip hop and the pop sound. Like, it doesn't always have to be like this booyaka hip hop kang thing. And it bothers me. Like, I'm glad that didn't last too long. This does have a good amount of attitude and funk that I like for this concept. Like, I think the Dangerous is actually more mischievous in nature as opposed to like dark, broody. Because they could have gone, I'm dangerous. You know, I definitely started singing Michael Jackson. Whoopsie. But my point is, they could go for the broody thing, but instead they went for don't pop a willy in the middle of the street dangerous, which is fine. It's kind of mischievous. Little boys going into the woods, you know, burning bugs and crap. Like, which is fine. They're young. And I think even with this there was a young boy group that you and I were watching on TV at your house a while back. And these little kids were had to be like at least 14 to 19 years old, maybe younger than that. And they had like the arm harnesses because they were singing about a broken heart. Like, you're 5. Stop it. The most serious thing you can possibly go through is the fact that the girl that you like doesn't want you and she wants the guy who that's it. That's the most serious thing that could happen to you. The world's not going to end. And that's what that song was doing. And this song doesn't do that. And I appreciate that they're actually more bright. Like, I'm looking for a bright boy group to like get into, okay? Dang, it's hard to considering everyone's like, yeah, so hard is freaking pop. And you're just like, come on. So yeah, I like that this is fun. I will say Hyuk is this group's like they're so lucky they have him. He's the pink haired one who hits like the R&B-esque notes. I do wish there were more ad-libs, but I mean, he's their only like I will sing my face off singer that they have in the group, which is a little bit unfortunate for them. Because one of their members, I think, was on a reality show, and I feel like his spot could be taken, but I could be being rude.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. I think vocally,
more...
none of them really stand out, unfortunately. But
that's not that's the thing. It's a stinks. They only have that one guy, and I'm like, freak. But yeah, they have good energy. They're fun. They're still really young. They're not. I don't even think they're like in their late 20s yet. They're not at all. Like, so it's cool. It's nice to kind of have this. And then the song has a certain kind of funk to it, and you can see that in the choreography, like the shoulder footwork for the choreography, the dangerous part and the villain part. I think that's so much fun. I want to learn that one section.
That's my favorite part too.
Yeah, it's so good. The only thing I don't like is when that floor part, when they have to spin on the floor to get up and roll from their hips. Why? Whoever did that, they're young now, but you know what they won't be? Like 5 years from now, young.
This choreo is dance crew choreo. Like, I was tired watching them do it. And I like watched I think going to the music video first, just the dance scenes and stuff, like, oh my gosh, the way they did the shots, like where the camera coming in and out and like the shot coming in, like it chaotic. I had to just only watch the dance practice to even see really what was happening because it was just a lot.
Chaotic.
So yeah, the choreo is crazy. Like, yes, the verses have more moments where like some of the members are not there and there's just more stillness, like with the raps and stuff like that. But the chorus is crazy. Like, it's impressive, but it's crazy, like unnecessarily. But they're good. They're good
it's
dancers.
Too hard. It's too sharp.
But they're literally going at 100 like the whole. Yeah, they're going at 100 like the whole time. It's just
You're right. That was my complaint. That was my biggest complaint. Yeah. It's just, and then I'm like, why are you hitting it so hard? Relax.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think I had watched this video before, the Perfume video. So when you're like, oh yeah, it's really sharp, and I'm like, not compared to these freaking whippersnappers.
I mean, not at all. Yeah. Regarding the music video, I don't get the whole Frozen school thing. Is that like a thing from their lore?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think they have a lore yet.
Okay.
And I hope they don't.
I didn't know if that was like a continuation from like a previous thing where they're like, oh, now they're in a Frozen school. I don't know. Anyway,
Maybe.
I don't really understand it because it just does not make sense. And like, I thought they were going to like warm up the school. And like, yes, they're like in daylight by the end, but that's not really what happened. So
it was a progression, right?
I was confused by that. The shaking camera though, like the editing of it is just, the direction of it, it's just not for me. It was just very chaotic. Like, I had to like shield my eyes. I was like, oh my God, it's just like constant shaking. And it's like, even that one scene where I think one of the rappers is coming through them, like a parade kind of, but it's like literally every single beat, it's a different shot from a different time that they shot. You know what I mean? Like, it's like ins and outs and it's like zooming in and out. And it's like, wow, like it was just like a lot. It was unnecessarily high energy. Like the whole thing, even performance wise, is just like so high energy that it's like, oh my God, like calm down.
It's giving young whippersnapper. That's for sure.
Totally.
It's, you know, that one guy that's like, I'm not sure if anyone here has experienced a younger person trying to hit on them. That's what this video and song was giving. It was just giving, come on. I'm old enough. Like, you're just like, stop, calm down. Like I've been hit on by young, cause I used to teach dance like at like high school and stuff like that, or like even at colleges. Like, they're younger than me, obviously. Miss, relentless. And that's what the song and the video was doing. Like, it was just, we're trying to be cool walking down the hallway and there's confetti all of a sudden. And then we're dancing in the gym, which I think was great shots. But
that shot was cool. The lighting was so cool. Yeah. I agree.
For the end,
agreed.
Why is it in the middle of the video? It's like, Miss, I got a car. Miss, I'm on varsity basketball team. It was giving that. It was giving, Miss, I'll turn 18 next month, you know? That's my only thing. It's just a little bit like trying to prove like we got this. That's not their fault. It's whoever did the video. It was just a bit much. There was no storyline. And because it lacked a storyline, there was nothing that was really cohesive, except for the sake of like shock value and wow factor, I guess. But by the time you've seen everything, there's no wow to lead up to. It was just like, shoot, there goes another flash, or there goes an explosion. So there was nothing to build up into it. Not their fault. They didn't make the video, but it's just so funny. I'm like, what was going on? It was a lot. And then, of course, my favorite, Unchan, the visual, he's another Chewy to me. He kind of just, he's good looking, but then he just kind of doesn't move his eyes. There's no glint in his eyes. There's no soul. It's a very pretty doll. But yeah, every time he came on the screen, that's the only time you got to relax.
Oh God. Oh yeah, no, he's the one. I think he's looking at like the bathroom mirror at one point, right? And everyone else is like doing the absolute most in their bathroom stalls, and he's just like,
that's what I'm saying.
In the mirror. Yeah. Anyway, I actually do enjoy the song for what it is. Yeah, I'll give it an 8. How about you?
Me too. I like this song. I give it an 8.
All right. So we're at the last song of the review, and we have 17 with Super. And this one was done by Bumzu and August Rigo, as well as Uzi, S-Coops, and Vernon of 17.
This song is right up the alley with older songs like Hit Song and Chuck.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more refined.
Yep.
I mean, it's still loud as hell, but it's more mature than Chuck, obviously, because the anti-drop, I think that's what helps. And then the vocal production in the choruses. It's all very low singing, and even the higher pitched members like Junghan are singing really low and singing almost like very forward chest voices. There's no blend here. There's no like, da-da-da-da-da. No, it's da-da-da-da-da. It's very like, revving up to go, I think the song has a not a stillness to it, but there is like this quiet confidence that's in it. And the fact that Wonwoo had to sing that first verse, it was such a long verse for him to have.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, that's interesting. I like that. First of all, he was my bias when I was like a huge carrot. Now it's fair game. Whoever is in my line of sight at this point with this group. But you know, I was like, oh wow, this is interesting because his voice is very low compared to a lot of like their higher songs. And he's always been rapping, so to have him sing and then have like this full verse until the chorus. I mean, until the pre. And you have like, you know, his shipmate, Mingyu, leading the pre until you get to this big old chorus. It's like, oh, that's where the song is going. So it makes it even more interesting because of the dynamic and the way the song led up into everything.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the energy is still picking up. And you're like, how can the energy get any wilder? You still have Eskus who needs to go. You have Hoshi who still needs to go. You got all these other members who are basically the crackheads of the group that need to go and sing. And then finally, it's like, oh, and it keeps going even toward the end. You have Uzi. You're like, what else can the song do? Change the melody of the end. Oh my God. Because if you're new here, I'm a recording artist, and my biggest thing is either have a bridge or change that last chorus somehow, some way. And they did that. And I'm so happy. I love a good, if you're going to change it, have it be even better or like just match the choruses or what else we already heard. And I think the production is interesting because it reminded me a lot of like Big Bang. Like old Big Bang songs. And then kind of some parts reminded me of How You Like That, I think it is, at the end. The drum progression, I cannot think of what it is. I'm not sure if it's like Korean derived, like Korean rhythm derived, or if it's just something that's like really popular, like an Afro beat, like a very watered down Afro beat, like that. Dum, 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 dum. It's something that comes from somebody's culture because it's not like a normal drum pattern. I've heard it a couple times now, right?
I thought it was more like I think it's an Asian
thing, right?
Like,
it is
a percussion thing.
Somebody's rhythms.
yeah. I think the song is really cool. I have talked about before with 17 that some other songs like Hit, like you've mentioned, like clearly made for performances, and I love watching them perform it, but I don't necessarily love listening to them without watching a visual of some sort. This song, like you said, is way more refined in that I can listen to this song without a visual and very much appreciate it still. That beat is really, really cool. Like it feels like it's like going through your body. They do an amazing job with that. Like I cannot imagine how cool this will be in a concert, like as an audience member, like feeling that beat kind of coming through, would be amazing. Even though there are a lot of moments here, like the anti-drop, like that final dance break and stuff that's, again, made for performances, the melodic moments are actually really, really good. Like the melodies themselves are very, very good. They sound really good. Like clearly, they've been around long enough now that they kind of know how to write for each member. So everything feels like it's actually kind of tailored to them. Everyone really feels really comfortable in those parts that they have. And just a great balance and structure. It's like you have some singing, then you have a rap, then you have more singing, then you have this chorus. So it's like really, really, really well done. So yeah, I think the first time I heard the anti-drop with that kind of like, I was a little thrown off by it, but now that I know that it's there, I appreciate it. And lyrically, I do love the mention of Sonagong in Korean, which is also known as the Monkey King, which is a Chinese myth, which is a story that I grew up with and know very, very well. So it's really, really cool that they reference that. And yeah, I love my team. I love my crew. Like, I just think that's really, really cool. It's a great boy group song.
Like, honestly, I feel like if Americans weren't so racist, this song would be great for like any national sports team. Like what NBA, MLB, NHL, I'm like all the letters, they sound like a boy group on their own. What kind of association, any kind of sports team would not want to hear this? Can you imagine the FIFA? I love my team. I love my crew. Like, who doesn't want to scream this? This is a boy's song. Like, girls could sing it, yeah, totally. But this is a man's song. This is a man's song. Like, yeah, my team, my crew, golf, whoever's, you know? And then a golf clap if you like to play golf, but kind of singing this in your head. But yeah, since we were talking about, like, you know, the Monkey King, the way this energy is, the boy group song, I just want to hop right into the visuals for this. This is giving straight up like battleground. We're in our home district or wherever, whatever. at our place preparing for battle. This song is like a freaking war cry. It's such an interesting visual because it was just the red, the black, I do not know the name of the temples, but the architecture very traditionally Korean. Even what they were wearing was just like traditional garb mixed with the modern denim, but still having the silhouette of large armor, big shoulders, regal at points. And also I want to introduce a new segment on this segment of the show. It's a sub-segment, if you will, called Shan's Lemonade Stand, where you can be thirsty, but your thirst probably will never get quenched. And the first person at the stand is Mingyu. He is, Jesus. I watched this video. I was like, oh, Wonwoo, yeah, he looks so good with that hair and the white. And then suddenly I see arms. And I was like, Lord, listen, I need to have a lemonade stand moment. I never named the segments on I never named it, but now it's a lemonade stand. I came with this last night. He looks so delicious. And I know we're talking about the whole video as a whole. I get it. I totally get it. But the stylist knew what they were doing, you know? So, I mean, all of them look really good. All of them have aged like delicious wine that I would probably never drink because I don't drink. But I mean, oh my God, that man's fine. All right, I'm done with my my lemonade stand. But yes, the whole idea of the video is amazing. The camera work is fire. I felt like I wanted to go to war with them, or at least prepare bread for them to take to war with them. I wanted to be the person to help in some kind of way. It felt very like War with Jet Li. Like have you seen War with Jet Li? That movie, like the way the visuals are, like I was expecting a shower of arrows to come out of some place. Like I was expecting a battle to happen, and it was very Kingdom-esque, like those big productions in Kingdom. That's what it felt like watching this. But yeah, the army of dancing men,
powerful, epic. This video is awesome. I love how grand it looks. I've watched it so many times, like since it's come out. I love how simple it is, that it really relies just on their performance ability. And they're all just giving their absolute most throughout it, which is just awesome. Like there is fire in all of their eyes. Every time one of them comes forward, like there's no slackers here. Like they are really giving it their all, which I really appreciate. It'll be interesting to see how they adapt this to less dancers though, like when they go on tour and stuff, because even with the music show performances, they've got an army of dancers there with them. And that adds to kind of the power of it. And obviously they can handle it as a group. But the way the whole thing is choreographed, it kind of...
That's who gets thrown at one point by like 3 different like groups of people.
Like the way that it's choreographed, it's made for like
them?
So many people to be there. It's part of the dynamic of it. And so, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they adapt it with that. But, you know, we mentioned with Tempest that they were just going at 100 like the whole time. And this song, yes, parts of the choreo are crazy, high energy, but they balance it super well with way more dynamic, right? Like there are so many moments where some of them are just standing there or just walking around, or especially at the end with the dance break. It's so powerful because the song itself is at its absolute peak in terms of energy, but they're just walking calmly, changing formations. They do that little like ripple thing. And then they just get in their final formation and they're just like staring blankly at the camera, which is kind of amazing. Like even in the performances, like they're ending fairies or whatever, they just all like have blank faces and they're just kind of like, they're not breathing hard. They're just kind of like, yeah, that just happened. You know, like this is really cool. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoy this song. I would love to see it live. I thought the live band version also was great. They were actually having fun together. They were not awkwardly standing behind mic stands like everyone else does on that show. The drums sounded amazing. They need to bring a band when they tour again, for sure. Yeah, they're great. I love this.
Oh, hang on. Shout out to the 8. He fractured his clavicle. So the fact that he was able to come back and they added his part of the song is so freaking cool because he just walks like you've been mentioning. But then like there's like this even more of an anti drop. So it just drops and it adds again to another layer of the song. But yeah, kudos for bringing him back and then him dancing, because I would be like, listen, y'all going to get a nice little strut from me. I'm not shaking nothing. But even he came out for that little section and at the end with the little instant transmission from Super Dragon Ball Z.
I will give it a 9.5. How about you?
I want to give it a 10. Why are you not giving it a 10?
Because...
Why are you not giving it a 10?
Because it's not my favorite 17 song.
Ooh, yeah. You know what? Okay, your reason makes sense. I like hit in terms of like when they kind of go hard, I do like kind of like EDM. I really do. So yeah, I'll give this one a 9.5 as well. Yeah, I'll match
Wow,
you.
we matched the whole episode. I think that's the first time this has ever happened.
I'm crying. Not for our album reviews. We usually kind of sit around the same area with album reviews, but not for the boppins for a while. Yeah.
All right, so we have some exclusive reviews for our Patreon crew members. So we're gonna talk about GIKWANG, DRIPPIN, and Taeyang. So if you'd like to join us over there, head over to patreon.com/cctvpops. We'll also post some quick clips of our reactions as well. So keep an eye on our shorts and reels on our socials. But yes, otherwise, thank you so much for listening. Let us know what you think of these songs. Which upcoming K-pop releases should we review next month? Stay tuned to our polls on our socials. And if you join our crew on Patreon, you not only get to hang out with us, but you also get priority with your choices. So yes, please follow us at CCTV Pops on all social media and stay tuned because we have a lot of cool stuff coming up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for our YouTube channel. And if you're enjoying the show on a podcast platform, please give us a follow, rating, and review. Until next time, that's Shan.
That's Chris.
And we're signing off from CCTV, the non-stop pop show.